Hey guys, Leo from Exclusive Steering here. We're located in Willow Grove, PA, specialized in building custom steering wheels for all makes and models. And today we have a 2018 Mustang installing a steering wheel. It's gonna be a quick video showing you the step-by-step on how to. Now without further ado, let's jump straight to the install.
Hey, it's Nick. Today I'm showing you how to install a steering wheel in S550 Mustang. First step is to pop the hood to disconnect the battery. You need a 10mm socket for the battery terminal to disconnect it. Make sure you place something in a bag, cardboard, between so it doesn't reconnect to the terminal on the battery. Second step, you need a skinny flathead behind the paddle shifters on these S550s for the paddle shifters. There's little holes. There's one hole here and one hole on the other side. What you gotta do is stick the flathead in the hole, feel for the little tab, then press against it so it can pop open the airbag tender itself. This tab, you should feel it pop. Then you're gonna do it on this side. Then you're gonna feel spring tension. You're gonna pop that too. Then you pull out nice and slow so you don't poke anything. What you're gonna do next is these two tabs to the airbag. You gotta pop them. Now there's no connection, but first we're gonna unconnect these, and you're gonna use the flathead just to wiggle and pop it out. Next one, and that should just work out too. Might just have pry a little bit on that side, and it comes out. Now onto the second one, wiggle underneath, make sure it's fully out, give it a little pry. There we go. Now after you do the airbag connections, you do the horn connection. It's a little tab connector, pull it out, and there's the airbag. You can either put it on the passenger seat and just put it face down, make sure it's nowhere to be damaged. Then next step is get a 24 impact socket. It could be a regular socket, but we're using impact today. And you need to get the center nut off. Extra located in the center of the steering wheel. Okay, we got the steering wheel from the old steering wheel, and we gotta transfer everything from this one to the new carbon fiber steering wheel. First, we gotta unscrew all these T20 screws from the steering wheel. You got more screws behind. Make sure you take those off. If you drop the screw, don't worry about it. You can always retrieve it when you take the back end plate of the steering wheel off. Next, take off the chrome pieces. Next, what you're gonna do is just duplicate what's on this and place it onto this. So, grab all the wiring. So this steering wheel has a heated element, meaning it's a heated steering wheel. But the new one doesn't, but the customer doesn't care for the heated steering wheel. So we're still going to transfer everything from this one to this, except the heated element. But when we do, I'm going to disconnect this and tape it up so it doesn't make no connection with anything else. You got to disconnect the sensor, the heated element, from the steering wheel itself, and you got to push down and pull out on this tab. And the whole heated element and the sensor is disconnected from the harness itself. Now you gotta transfer everything how this is. Don't pull in any wires, pull out gently, and do the same thing to the new one. Make sure all the wires and connectors go into the hole that is supposed to go in, just like that. What we gotta do is, since this carbon fiber steering wheel doesn't have the heating element, we gotta tape off this just in case. A little bit of electrical tape, just cut it to a good nice size that you can put over that connector, just so that connector is not alive. Just tape it around and just close off the end and tape it up like that. Because this connector you're not gonna be using now. So what you could do is just keep the connector right there. Now put the back end plate where this is supposed to go, and make sure all the hoses that line the connectors goes in properly. Just make sure everything goes in smoothly. You don't want to pinch any wires. Make sure this is fully seated, it's all down. So what you're gonna do is hold the back of it, so make sure it doesn't pop off because it's not secure yet. And now you guys are adding all of the components back on. So what we gotta start off with first is let's do the middle piece. So you're gonna tuck that wire in, you get the nice carbon fiber piece, and you just push it in. Don't do it too much, yeah, because these pieces sit right here. So you have that carbon fiber piece sitting right there. So what you're gonna do next is grab the screws that came out of it. Just get your T20. Okay, now that piece is on. Next, we're just gonna install the paddle shifters. They just slide in. And what we're gonna do is make sure they're connected, then screw them in. Make sure it's all snug down. Now do the same thing on the other side. Next, what we're gonna do is install the controls. Just gotta kinda make sure they're on there. Now the other silver screw goes right here for the other control. Just snug down and make sure it's fully tight. You always screw into the metal over here. Now make sure everything's nice and down. Now we're gonna do the opposite, the other side. Okay, so we got both controls are on. We still gotta tighten some screws down. So what we gotta do next is before we tighten those ones down, we gotta get the other controls on. So what we gotta do is unscrew these 3 torque screws out so we can transfer this panel to the new carbon fiber panel. Install it into the new unit. Don't over tighten these. You are screw into the carbon fiber plastic. Just snug it. So what we can do now is connect this to the green connector. Make sure you hit click. What you do next is make sure you push down this part and make sure you push it down. You're just gonna make sure everything's on fine. So what you want to do is hold this down, get the non-big, because there's 2 kind of screws. You got these ones that go to the flat areas, like these 2, these 4. But you have this one that goes on the top piece of the control. What we're gonna do now is transfer the other side from the old trim to the new carbon fiber trim. 3 screws like the other side. Transfer everything back over to the new one. Now install this one to this side. Make sure you hit click. Make sure you give it a little tug. Make sure it's all on there. Now we screw this. That one's good. Now we can set up this side. Now grab the other side. If it's all connected well, you can hide the wires. Now next you gotta screw in, secure this side like you did to the other side. And just get the screws. Okay, since you got all the screws in for the trim right here, the next part is to put that top piece back on that we took off in the first place. It's not that hard. You just pretty much make sure you line up with the plus signs because there's little pluses, this little tabs that it goes into. Now, what you're gonna do next is screw everything in. And the best way to do this is make sure it's up, because sometimes you can drop the screw in. You don't want to do that because it's a hassle. Sometimes, you know, the wire is in the way, so you gotta move that. And just gently do it. Don't do it in a rush. Okay. Now we have all the controls on the back end. Everything's in. Now we can move this over to the car. So reinstalling the steering wheel back onto the column. You have to make sure you grab these wires and fish them through. And when you're doing it, make sure you're not moving the clock spring around. Just gotta make sure you move all the other wires. And then there's little 2 lineup tabs that will place the steering wheel into place. The yellow tabs that will show you and actually go into the steering wheel to make sure it's straight. Then after that, what you're gonna do is connect the connectors that you unconnect. Make sure that's clipped in. After the steering wheel is in, what you wanna do is get your column bolt and put Loctite on it. And this next step, you need a torque wrench so you can torque it down properly. But first, we're gonna screw it in first. But always thread it in by hand. Make sure everything goes in nice and smooth. Okay, and by hand, what we can do is use the impact Give it a little snug, not too much. Make sure it's fully in. Then grab the torque wrench. Make sure you have your 24 socket so you can tighten this bolt to 30 foot-pounds of torque. You don't want to over tighten it. Okay, what you want to do now, make sure the steering wheel doesn't wobble. Go back and forth. And it's fully seated. It's tightened to 30 foot-pounds of torque. Next step is to connect the airbag to the connectors. Mind you, there's going to be an empty port if you don't have a heated carbon fiber steering wheel. If you don't have heated steering wheel, you don't have to worry about the connector right here. Don't worry about it. Like I said, it's only for the heated steering wheel. You may or may not have it. Now, next step is to connect the airbag itself back up, and it's color coded. The black goes to the black connection. Push down, make sure it's on. Same thing with the yellow. Push down, make sure it's on. Now the other connection for the horn, slide it in, make sure it connects and clicks. Make sure the connections go on, click. Next step is connection. Make sure it's all lined up, and push on the steering wheel. And just make sure everything's lined up fine. Make sure the connections are on. Make sure you hear it click sound when you push them in. Make sure everything's nice and seated, just like that. Now the steering wheel and the airbag's back on. Next is reconnect the battery. Now we gotta reinstall the positive terminal. Make sure you don't tap anything ground. Nice, just like that. Don't over tighten it, just like that. Make sure it's nice and seated. Grab your push pins, put them and start them again. And next step is to turn the car on, make sure all the buttons and stuff work on the steering wheel. Make sure the buttons all work and everything's all good. And that's how to install a S550 carbon fiber steering wheel.